7-yard line. That's a great call, too. Playing fake, and Bubba will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's a late. Trying to center off to Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards pulls up and buries the flag.
Richardson tries, out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt three right on the money. Daniels takes his shot for Darby.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? I am so glad you are here today. It is a phenomenal Thirsty Thursday, and you are joining me here on Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, as you know that. I am Michael Caratonito at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. You also know that as well. You can check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, my wonderful IG. Don't forget about that, Michael.Caratonito.5. Yes, I know you guys know that. Also, guess what? The YouTube channel, guys. You can go to M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube and subscribe. Why do I say that? Because you guys know this. You guys know anything that you have missed. And today you're going to miss some awesome stuff, phenomenal Sun Devil stuff. But anything you have missed, if you didn't watch live on YouTube, guess what? You can subscribe to the channel and go back and binge watch it all because, that is absolutely awesome. And you have missed a ton of con reviews with, again, coaches, players, voices, insiders, analysts, alum, like just everybody. And it is all here on Pitchfork Lunch. Your daily is, Greg Moore, the great writer, said he called me Uncle Homer. For a reason. It is a Homer show, but yes, not everything is rainbows and unicorns. But again, go to YouTube, subscribe. You guys, again, you can binge watch. You have so much to catch up on and so much more coming. Like I said, today we are going to get to stuff quick. But yeah, Molly Miller was introduced yesterday as the new women's basketball head coach. Energy, and whatever. I know people say, well, energy is that, but what she just did at Grand Canyon, I mean, the last 5 years at Grand Canyon, absolutely phenomenal, as we've talked about. Also, a 30-game win streak and into the tournament. Like Molly Miller, like you'll hear her, like I'm not even going to spoil it. You'll hear her, but yes. You could subscribe. You can watch live on YouTube, but also subscribe if you're there. And you guys also know that if you have to run around, go out and about, no worries. We got you covered because you can listen to Pitchfork Lunch on the greatest internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. Guys, all you have to do is go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page will open up. Click Listen Live. Hit play Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. There is your Pitchfork Lunch show and your Sun Devil content is what I wanted to say. Casual E, again, totally inviting us into the KSRN family. And I mean, again, he said, I need more Sun Devil content. I'm like, it's true. More than you want you don't want any content from that school down south to ruin your station. But, and I'll get to a breaking thing on that, which broke earlier this morning, but nonetheless, go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page will open up, hit play, click listen live, hit play. Boom, there you go. Also, when you're there, guys, like I remind you daily, but you want to be in the know. Casual E, he is in the know when it comes to, and he has you covered when it comes to the Cardinals, the Suns, the Mercury, the Diamondbacks, all theirs. Opening day today in Major League Baseball. Well, the hard opening day, not the faux opening day, to say the least. But opening day today, all over Major League Baseball. But yeah, the Diamondbacks, he has you covered, man. Casual E has you covered. Suns, again, they got crushed by the Celtics last night, but it is the Celtics, although without Jason Tatum. And yes, he has you covered there. Mercury, obviously, they're a few months away from getting started, but again, preseason and stuff coming up, and they are going to look a little different. BT retired. Brittany Griner is now with the Atlanta Dream. Sophie Cunningham was involved in a trade. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to look a little bit different. Coach Tibbetts, though, he's here. So, Kalia Copper, yes. But Casual E has you covered is my point. Plus, guys, you can listen to the show. And, like, I'm not going to forget to remind you, I do want you to watch, but please don't watch and drive. So, yes, you can listen to Pitchfork Lunch, which, again, very, very awesome. As you like I said, listen to Pitchfork Lunch, and you're driving, you can stream it through your Bluetooth, so that makes it so much easier. So yeah, you're smart, you're devils. I know you're not going to watch and drive, pay attention to the road, but yes, go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page will open up, click listen live, hit play, there you go. And then when you get to lunch, you can either keep listening, obviously, through your phone, or tune it in. Either way, but I love having you guys on the Casual Sports Radio Network as well. Yeah, so those listening, you're going to hear clapping and stuff. But yes, this is yesterday at Evie's Pavilion at Papago Golf Course, where, and I'm such a slacker, I saw Coach Missy Farquet there yesterday, the Ping Invitational for the women. There's a practice round going on today. Tomorrow, it starts at 8 a.m. Yes, tomorrow it starts at 8 a.m. So, that being said, you can go out to Papago and watch the women play. They're the highest ranked of the teams there. And they have not one, but two players that are going to be playing in the Masters the week after, because the women's Masters, obviously, the week before leads up to the men's Masters, which ASU will have a men's golfer in the Masters as well. So, yes, it's phenomenal. So, yeah, but there was at Papago. But for those listening on KSRN, don't worry, I shall describe. This is when Molly Miller, the new head coach, was walking in to the presser. A ton of ASU coaches there, obviously. Michael Crow, president of the university, and Graham Rossini, the athletic director, was there. And we'll hear from them. I'm going to play it all. I want you guys to see this. This is the welcome. Kind of see her. There she is. And then there's Graham Rossini, the athletic director. Coach Miller's kids up front. Giving her a hug. Obviously, her husband there as well. Former Missouri point guard. But yes, this is absolutely awesome. Let's go there. But yeah, there's Molly Miller again making her way in. Oh, yeah, and then she had to be introduced. But Molly Miller making her way in to the presser, and that in and of itself, again, just very, very awesome. So, yeah, we're gonna hear from a little bit from her. We're gonna hear from Graham Rossini, obviously talking about hiring her, but we're gonna hear from Coach Miller, and Michael Crow did speak obviously about the vision and I shouldn't say obviously, but no, I love what President Crow had to say. And yeah, but it's just absolutely awesome that we, again, and her energy, I'm not even gonna try and duplicate it. I'm just telling you guys right now, it is very, very phenomenal. So nonetheless, that was her walking in. But yeah, you talk about the coaches who were there. Other coach, Charlie Turner Thorne, obviously, and she gave Charlie a shout out. But Charlie Turner Thorne was there. We're going to hear from Graham Rossini, obviously, about Charlie obviously being involved with a program that she came into and made it a consistent winner. Yeah, Charlie Turner Thorne was there. It was great to catch up with her as well. And then, but you talk about coaches. I mean, Coach Dillingham was there. Bobby Hurley, Coach Hurley was there. Coach Powers was there. Missy Farkay, like I said, she was there as well. Man, who else? There was quite a few. Well, why am I? Yeah, there was quite a few. Anyway, I got pictures of it, but it's absolutely awesome. I mentioned Coach Powers, yes, and I mentioned Coach Bloomquist, Coach Hurley, Coach Dillingham, Coach Missy Farkay. Yeah, but nonetheless, and just again, the excitement, absolutely awesome. Again, I know, and it's not knee-jerk reaction. Again, you'll hear from we'll hear from Graham Rossini again. We've talked about it. A phenomenal hire. You guys have hit me up in comments. Anyways, hit me up. They're obviously awesome, but yeah, people that have sent stuff to me, totally awesome. Totally awesome. So, yeah, so we will hear from them as well. And then spring ball, day 2 today. We will hear from Montana Warren, and we'll hear from Montana Warren as well. Again, a young man looking to, again, true freshman, his freshman year, got banged up at Camp T and then came back. Got banged up at Camp T, and then wasn't able last year again, just played when he came in. And so we'll hear from him. I mean, this young man again, and he has that number 7. Ask him about wearing number 7, because you guys all know Shamari Simmons had, that was his number. And so Montana, he's got number 7. So we'll hear from him, and then possibly Coach Dillingham. But again, I want to get to obviously Graham and Molly Miller and celebrate this. But I want to bring it to you guys because, again, a lot of you were not able to see it. And again, this is, if you can, like I said, you can tell, obviously has a vision. You don't, go to the tournament in Grand Canyon. You don't win 30 games in a row without playing a word that I know Charlie Turner Thorne, who is doing broadcast stuff for the women's tournament. But I did talk to her after this weekend. I'm going to reach out to her, going to have her on the show coming up. Also, defensive coordinator Brian Ward is going to join us on Monday, guys. So again, yes, spring ball started. Got to catch up with, I know offense, but yes, no, defensive coordinator Brian Ward will be on the show on Monday. So you're not going to want to miss that, guys. But yeah, so I'm going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to hear, like I said, from Molly Miller, and we are also going to hear from Graham Rossini as well, and go from there. So, but yeah, absolutely awesome. Looking very much forward to bringing that to you guys, because again, it's just an electric press conference of the people that were there. Again, former players. I ran into you guys, Sun Devil fans. You'll remember another Olympian that ASU's had. But Promise Amukamara was there. Got to catch up with her. Yes, she did get to play here. Her sister Peace, who you guys know, a lot of you know, I covered. You Pitchfork Lunchers know I covered the junior colleges for years here. Peace played at MCC and then came over here and played at ASU for Coach Thorne, but got to play with Promise. Again, that was always very awesome to see. But yeah, I ran into Promise, and it was great to catch up with her again, some alum, and she, Coach Miller wants to get them involved. So anyway, nonetheless, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to hear from Molly Miller. We're going to hear from Graham Rossini, and you guys are going to be all caught up. And if you're not fired up by then, honestly, send me a message, because I might have to check. I definitely will have to check on you. So yes, but we are going to step aside. More Pitchfork Lunch coming right up.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending the message out to the world.
Always laying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
Are you good?
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Yes, those of you listening on KSRN, you're listening to the greatest internet radio station on the web. I am not hiding. I'm Michael Carrottenuto at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as Twitter. You can check Pitchfork Lunch out there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Same thing with my IG, michael.carrottenuto.5, the YouTube channel, which you need to watch live and subscribe to. And it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. And subscribe, because guess what? You've missed a lot, and you're about to miss a lot more. So, I'm just going to get right to it. Molly Miller, she was hired as the women's basketball head coach, was a point guard at Drury, got her coaching career started at her alma mater at Drury, spent the last 5 years at Grand Canyon, won a ton of games, had a 30-game win streak, and yeah, you'll hear from Graham Rossini too. He was gracious enough to catch up with me at the presser. It was great to see him there. Well, obviously, the athletic director, I know you're like, Michael, the athletic director is going to be there. I know, what I'm saying is, it's always great to see him out at events. But anyway, that being said, so here is Molly Miller, Graham Rossini, and then, like, again, it'll be chopped up, but we'll get to questions, not, everything, but we'll go from there.
Honored, and I am grateful to be your next women's basketball coach at Arizona State. And there are some thank yous and people that I want to acknowledge. Obviously, first sitting to my right and my left, just thank you, Dr. Crow. Thank you, Graham, for your belief and your trust in me. It was very, very clear when I was speaking to you how you embraced the holistic student. And that really aligned with my vision of how I approach my relationships with the holistic student athlete. And I want to make a meaningful impact on the court and off the court and reflect ASU's mission. When I was at Drury, in the process, I've started with this and I've taken it with me. And that's kind of the phrase, more than champions. And I want to be elite in everything we do. I want to be elite in the classroom. I want to be elite in the pursuit of authentic competition and championships. I want to be elite when we engage with the community and our fans and band and cheer and dance. I want to be elite when it comes to community service. So all those things align with Dr. Crow's vision. And then Graham, there are two words that come to mind. Well, many probably, but two I want to share. Okay. It's visionary leader. And he has not only invested in the team's success, but he's fostering an environment for staff, faculty, coaches, student athletes to thrive. And I just wanted to be a part of that. He has just elevated that forward-thinking approach that I think is the perfect recipe for continued growth. So I'm so excited to take this journey with both of you, and thank you again. So. I also want to thank the entire athletic administration team and the department. There's too many names to name, but through my onboarding process, Lisa, Christina, Juliana, you have been phenomenal. Thank you so much. I do want to thank the past players, the past administrators, the past coaches, the past fans who have supported this program. I'm so grateful that Charlie is here. Shout out to CTT. I've been on the phone with her often. There was like 3 things that I asked her to do. She's like, how can I help? And I'm like, really? Because you can't help. And she was willing and able. As I'm going through this hiring process, she knows everyone. I know you all know that. but I said, "Can you make some reference calls for me?" And she did that. And then I asked her, "Could you group text me with some of the alums?" And so we've been in a group chat, and I've already gotten to know so many alumni that have poured their heart and soul into this program. So I'm so proud to get to know you and meet you face to face. And then I asked her, I said, "Will you just send some voice memos about recruiting nuggets that I can use?" So at night, I lay down and I listen to CTT right before I go to bed. So I have 3 kids. So I'm happy that you're here, and I just can't wait to ingrain you back. And you've been so supportive, and I really want to thank you for that. I also want to thank President Mueller and Jamie Boggs, who hired me at GCU. It was an incredible 5 years, and what a great opportunity for me to grow in the coaching profession. And obviously my family is front row. What a support system I have. My husband Derek, Cy, my 5-year-old. Remember Cy, peace sign and pinky. He did it! Works up!
That's good coaching,
Yeah, he's coachable. And then Crosby, my 8-year-old, she has it down pat. But they will be around. They're gonna love on you, and I know you all are gonna love on them, but they've been such a great support system throughout this whole thing. I'm just very thankful. My father-in-law's here is Dustin, and I know my mom and dad are watching back home. Hi, Mom and Dad. I wouldn't be the person I am today without them, so I'm very thankful. And then I don't know who, but this amazing setup, can we just give a clap to the crew who did this both physically and logistically? It is a beautiful setting, and I'm in recruitment mode because the portal opened yesterday. So this is a PSA to the recruits. When you see the reception footage outside, I get to recruit you to paradise. It is like an average temperature of 72 and sunny, and it's gorgeous. So you can do both. You can play basketball, and you can come to a destination and have some fun. So that was my recruiting PSA. I had to do that. And last but not least, just everyone who's here today, thank you for your support. And also one more shout out to James Harden for the supportive tweet. I appreciate that as well. But I'm excited to get to work. I want to hit the ground running. I want to make you proud. And hopefully we all leave this press conference fired up about ASU women's basketball.
We'll go Jeff Metcalf with the first question.
Coming to the largest public institution in the country, going into the Big 12. Can you just put that in perspective of what that means to you? And then for a second question, just the ability to stay here in the Metro Phoenix area and also recruit in the West, which you've been doing the last few years.
Yes, I love what I do. And so I couldn't do this without people around me, though. And that's probably been the biggest piece of a grateful moment for me, is reflecting on how I got here, but who I got here with. There's been countless coaches, student athletes, administrators, faculty, staff that you don't go on a journey with unless you're with them. And I'm just so grateful for those moments. And yeah, I think the cherry on top was staying here and saving Graham on some relocation expenses. But honestly, it was the vision that sold me. I mean, I was gonna be pretty picky for my next step if I was blessed to have one. And it was the vision and the commitment to athletics and women's basketball that really made it clear that I belonged here.
Hi, Coach. Hi, Coach. Jesse Morrison with Arizona Sports. Just this program in the past has had so much success, not quite in the last couple of years, but in the past it has. Just how do you kind of plan to get it back to that perennial tournament team?
Yeah, thanks, Jesse. I was watching Kenny's interview the other day, and he said he was kind of summing up what this year was going to be, and he made the comment, a sailboat doesn't sail on yesterday's wind. And I was thinking, like, what would our theme or quote be for next year? And so I started thinking about the sailboat theme, and I came up with, when I'm trying to revive a program and generate excitement, when there's no wind in your sail, row. and we're gonna row. I'm gonna get a stack here. We're gonna hit the ground running, we're gonna work hard, and we're gonna row. And you know, Pat Summitt, her famous quote was, "How am I gonna beat you? I'm gonna outwork you." That's it, and that's what we plan to do.
Hey Coach, over here, Robbie Baker with Fox 10. Good to see you again.
Hi, Robbie.
Congratulations. You kind of got a taste of the Big 12, I guess, in the tournament playing Baylor. Just kind of what stood out about that experience, and what do you kind of anticipate moving into this conference?
You know, I remember one question I got asked when I went from Drury to GCU was, will your style translate to the next level? And then we played Baylor, and I'm like, yes, the defense translates, because I'm convicted to that style. And I thought that was just a great kind of first glimpse of how I need to recruit, what the level is. Does the style of play work with that? And so that was a blessing for me also, to not only be in the tournament and experiencing it, but really seeing a top of the conference opponent and how they operate and work, and what do I need to do to plan for the future.
Jordan?
Hey Coach, back here, Jordan Hams, Sports 360 AZ. For you, I saw that you had mentioned that you feel like you and Graham are similarly wired. How quickly did that become evident to you, and what is it that is similar in the wiring? And then for Graham, how quickly was it, Molly was the, #1 priority that you wanted to pursue?
I got to campus, and Graham and Allison were kind enough to show me around one evening, but he came hand in with I told him once, I don't drink coffee, this stuff runs through my veins naturally. I drink chai teas though, and in hand was a chai tea waiting for me. I'm like, that's a recruiting stunt I would have pulled. So I just think there's similarities in not only the work ethic and the vision and the mission, but making people important, and I really value that about Graham.
Yeah, Jordy, good to see you. Thanks for being here. A quick shout out to Herb Cordy from Renaissance Search is here, and Mike Harrison, who's on Molly's team. And I think early in the process, we'd gotten word that, hey, Molly's going to have a lot of opportunities should she be pursuing a job elsewhere. And if she's on our list, we better start to move quickly. And so we had set up an initial conversation one evening that was probably, just an initial touch base. Let's talk about our process, understand what the next steps would be. I think we spent 2+ hours on the phone, and it was a very fluid, natural, exciting conversation. And we had a chance to follow up the day after that. And I think there was both a mutual spark and connection that, hey, we see the world similarly. We understand that we're very capable here at ASU, that this is a destination. We've seen that in the success that we're having in other sports, and that we want as a department, coaches that are prioritizing an opportunity to come to ASU and be here for hopefully the best years of her career. And this is the next move that she ends up making. And so that was very evident in the conversation, that she had circled ASU as a target for her as a head coach, for somebody that's recruiting to an elite university, and for a great place to grow and raise her family. And so, what was initial couple-minute phone call turned into a couple hours, and I think we had daily correspondence ever since. And so immediate connection, seeing the world very similarly, similar values, attention to detail, and the belief that we're capable of elite levels of success here at ASU and everything we do.
Hey, Molly, Mark McClellan, Arizona's family, 3TV, CBS 5. Congratulations on today. Curious, you mentioned your sales pitch to recruits out there. What does your next couple weeks look like from an hours perspective? And then with the current state with the transfer portal, what's a turnaround look like? How realistic is it to get this thing put in the right direction quicker than it would be in past years?
Well, at 9 p.m. last night, security tried to kick me out of my office. So we're just burning the midnight oil, because that's the day and age we live in with the portal. Like I said, it opened yesterday, and we're hitting the ground running, and that's going to be a process for me. I'm going to lead with culture pieces. I think that's really important right off the gate to establish your culture. I want to provide a healthy environment for student athletes to meet their potential, and they feel empowered to do that. So we're starting right away. I mean, I used to say you could sleep in April, but now with the environment, we're just going to sleep in August, maybe. I mean, we'll see.
Molly, we don't have any security. Those are probably U of A spies.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, I said, I'm employed, and they left. He did look like a kid with a backpack, now that you mention it.
Hey, Coach Molly, we're here, Aya Abdeen for the State Press. Congratulations on getting a new role with Arizona State. So the last time ASU advanced to the NCAA tournament was in 2019. How are you looking to turn around this, especially after leading GCU to its first ever NCAA appearance?
Well, first you got to recruit talent, but I think there's an important piece that has to mirror that with your culture. And I do think teams take on the personality of their head coach. So you'll see a coach with moxie and enthusiasm and relentless energy and effort and passion, and you'll see our players play that way on the court. So as talented as we're going to be, we're going to even be better on the branding side of it's going to be fun to watch ASU basketball. We're going to get after it. We're going to be gritty. We're going to be passionate. We're going to lead with energy and effort. This is going to be a team-first approach, and I think that's going to help us get really far.
And especially when you mentioned the first team approach, how are you looking to take that as Arizona State looks to get 1% better every game?
The person next to you, their needs is more important than your own. And I preach that to my program, and you have to lead with selflessness and a servant heart to help others around you. And that's just gonna be one of our cornerstones. I'm gonna build this thing on rock, not sand. And we're gonna have a really solid foundation of culture, family, faith, friends that's gonna lead us.
Thank you.
Coach Michael Caratonito, Pitchfork Lunch, congratulations. To piggyback off the recruiting, I know obviously the transfer portal's huge, but you're kind of balancing, like you said, recruiting to Paradise and what's been going on in the athletic program, but just getting like locating those freshmen and stuff like that. I mean, you're balanced just in attacking that. And also, I know you mentioned obviously the whole athletic department, but just as a coach, I mean, to see other programs doing well, how much fun is that for you as a coach and just like the basketball team to see that as well?
Yeah, well, I got a warm welcome from softball coaches at the softball game. They gave me a gift basket. I've had interactions via text to the coaches. So there really is something special here. And I'm excited to be a part of that. And then the recruiting pitch, we got to keep good Arizona players here. And I'm going to recruit in the backyard first. And if they're good enough to play at this level, then we're going to recruit them, and we're going to recruit them early. So by the time that their junior season comes and they're ready to make a decision, they've already had 3 years of Arizona State, Coach Miller, every staff member at their games cheering them on, and they feel that ownership and pride in representing their state. So if there's talent here, we want to keep them at ASU.
Around the corner, Adam Keenan, Inferno Intel. This is obviously a very proud program that has had its moments of success throughout the years. How do you reinvigorate the fan base and kind of bring them back in to this program?
Well, I'm open, available, and accessible. Stop by. I want to meet you. I want to shake everyone's hands. I want to get to know you. You're going to teach me about ASU, and that's exciting for me. I also think just the brand and the nature of the style is fun to watch. It's fun to coach. It's fun to teach. Recruits want to be a part of it. So that is going to help us in that recruiting and just that energy towards the program. So I love people. I'm a people person. So if we can do this as a family, I just think the sky's the limit.
Anybody else? In the back? Landon and Saint?
Kobe Bronstein, House, Sparky, Molly, first off, congratulations. When you started your coaching career, your alma mater, Drury, in 2012, obviously you've worked your way up to now. 13 years later, you're sitting here at Arizona State. In what ways do you feel like you've grown the most as a coach and as a leader?
I've said this before, your experience helps you grow, right? But I became such a better coach when I became a parent. Like, you kind of learn what tough love looks like. You want to have a standard and expectation, and I think these kids, my biological kids and my basketball kids, want to be held to a standard and loved along the way. I'm going to wrap my arms around them, but I'm also going to push them. I'm going to push them on the court. I'm going to push them in the classroom. So I think just understanding that if you have those relationships, those kids will run through a wall for you. And I do the same for them.
Hi, Coach Aiden Blake, also House of Sparky. You've been in the Valley for half a decade now, coaching at the D1 level. What specifically was it about this location? I know you mentioned saving on moving expenses when you moved here. What specifically was it about this location that makes it easy for you to coach here and easy for you to build a team and a family here?
I think the community. you know, you've got kind of the best of both worlds. This is what I just told a recruit, that we have 4 visits scheduled right now from the portal, by the way. But I said, you can have the best of both worlds. Like, you have this family, homey feeling within your program, and then you've got an incredible academic institution and an athletic institution. And then you have Tempe, Scottsdale, Phoenix, an area where you can really spread your wings and be whoever you want to be, and be innovative like the university, and explore a little bit about yourself. And I just think that's such a great sell for these kids in their formidable years. And part of our responsibility is developing them into being good stewards of the community. And what a great mix of opportunity that this place provides.
Over here.
Hi, Coach. Luke Carter, Cronkite News. I want to ask you, what's your message to the Arizona State student population, and why they should buy into you as the head coach and this team and show up to games to help the energy next year with this team and university?
Let's go! Let's go! Like, you're gonna be my people. You know, I want to rally and do a little huddle jump with you after games. I want to meet you before games. I want to invite you into practices. We had an open practice for our student group last year. Like, I want you to feel ownership, and I want you to be a part of this. So I can't wait to ingrain myself in the student body and have you all come see a fun brand of basketball, but something you're going to be really, really proud of to represent Arizona State.
And we've got a great start with our Inferno Insider and 942 crew in the house tonight as well.
942 crew, shout out. Let's go.
We'll go one more in the back, and then we'll do one-on-ones.
Hi, Coach. Ethan Ignatowski with Wall Street Cronkite Sports Network. What can you take from your experience with GCU leading them to March Madness, and what can you take from that experience into this new role at ASU and bring the program back to its glory days?
You know, the momentum of women's basketball, like Dr. Crow alluded to, is on a high. And seeing the tournament at this level, it really gave me insight to the approach I need to take. And I'm going to use that experience as power for me to understand maybe what I didn't know before. And so that was just a huge step in my career to experience that and then take that along with me.
Expenses, but when you have a coach in the backyard like that you see, I mean, and again, I know it's not a knee-jerk reaction, but wins 30 games in a row and the team's just rolling, and you've seen her obviously resume, I mean, as it goes out. But what was it just, I mean, not that it's ever easy, but I mean, did it become pretty simple? Like we really need to go after her.
Well, we've had the benefit of seeing her have success in the Valley for years now, and this year in the meteoric rise that GCU had, going to the WAC championship, both the regular season and the tournament, going to the NCAA tournament, we kind of had a front row seat to watch this happen, and we had a chance to compete against them back in November at the Footprint Center, and that was probably the first time I've had a chance to really watch them play close up, and everything that Coach Miller described about the energy, the grit, the determination, the skill level, the coaching was on display that night. And at that moment, we didn't have any indication that we'd be making a change, but thinking back on that moment, it was helpful to see her in action in that kind of a setting. And then obviously just in town watching everything that she's been able to lead in the Valley. It helped us get caught up on the process, understood that she's got relationships in the Valley that are going to help us build a community of support around basketball, bring in some new fans, energize this community, be good with the team giving back in the local marketplace and finding causes to champion. So just the benefit of visibility ultimately, and the fact that we've had a chance to watch her have this amazing success for many years now.
And you and I have talked about recruiting, and I mean the transfer portal is a big part. But I mean, and like she said in the presser, like, yeah, you want to keep these good kids home, but like just the balance of getting freshmen in with the transfer portal, I mean, it takes a lot of energy, and she has it. But with her vision, when she was talking to you, what clicked for you just in those conversations?
I just think the way that she approached leadership and understanding that, hey, this leadership is hard. Winning at the highest level is hard, but she's willing to put in the work and build connections and relationships, and it's all about the fit with the coach first. At some point, the university enters the conversation, but if you don't connect with your head coach in those early conversations, it's hard to make up for that later. And so just the fact that she's able to connect with recruits from all over the country, the ASU brand allows her to recruit all over the world at this point. You look at some of her most successful teams, there's recruiting in the backyard in Arizona, there's a concentration of Californians and Texans. She's had success in the Northwest, which has always been a very good pipeline for women's basketball, strong kids throughout the Midwest, and then an international or two. And so that profile fits for us as well. Let's own our backyard, let's get elite talent out of California, Texas, and then you round out roster with great fits wherever you can find them.
And I had quite a few of my Pitchfork Lunch fans who are pseudo vertically challenged like me, but say that point guards make the best head coaches, and you have two of them here now. So was her being a point guard a selling point to that as well?
Yeah, I guess we're getting back to the guard you roots, and we can do that on the women's side as well. And she's just an infectious personality, and her energy's off the charts. And again, in our first conversation, that was supposed to be a couple minutes, and we spent hours on the phone talking philosophy and leadership and what ASU could mean to her on the recruiting trails, how she saw the opportunity and the chance to be successful here, and we're so thrilled with the outcome.
And in this hire too, lastly, I mean, you've talked about obviously the athletic department. I mean, even the student athletes, everybody being a family. But with and all the coaches that are here in support, and like we've talked about, the infectious, like one sport has success, you're all having success. But when she saw that, I mean, did you almost kind of see like almost the deer in headlights from her? Not that she didn't have it before, but just it's just so huge.
No, I'll screenshot and say the first time that she was added to the head coaches group text, and it was just this euphoric moment of everybody being excited, welcoming her with open arms, and her getting that warm welcome out the gate of, you know, Coach Dillingham, Coach Hurley, you know, Missy's here, Coach Powers is here. There's probably others that have been in the room, and everybody wants other sports to have successful, and they're also pushing each other along the way. They're sharing notes on what works on the recruiting trail. They're helping each other find their footing and their success at ASU, and that's the sign of a healthy department, is when sports are collaborating on behalf of the department, not 26 independent units that happen to wear the same uniform.
And then I kind of fit, lastly, you just mentioned, you gave me the question, but having Charlie Turner-Thorne here, I mean, obviously, you know, when coaches have success and they're at a program for a long time, as you know, I mean, it can be a shadow, and not that it's a bad thing, but the fact that she's embracing Charlie, and Charlie embracing, obviously, talking to you and putting in a good word for Molly. But what does it mean to you to have Charlie obviously still involved?
Yeah, I've been lucky to know Charlie since 2000 when I first got to ASU, and she's become a dear friend over the years. And I was so excited when I got back to ASU that I was getting a chance to work with her, and it was a little bit shorter than we expected as she retired, but she's been such a big help in the process, just with her knowledge and landscape of women's basketball across the country, both at a high college level, but also at a WNBA level with the scouting and coaching and broadcasting that she's been able to do. And so she's a wealth of resource for not only the sport of women's basketball, but also her understanding of the Valley and ASU. And so we can't use her enough. And the fact that she wants to plug back in, the fact that they've had a relationship coming into this opportunity is a great example of what we can do when we collaborate, the spirit of ASU coming together, and just very excited to get this ASU family back on the same page.
There he is. Well, there they were. Molly Miller. Again, look, guys, the energy there. I mean, people, and I know everybody's going to say, you know, the negative Nancy's out there might say, oh, well, what's somebody not going to have? It's not about not having the energy. It's about, you know, what you can do with it, and then just understanding it. I mean, yeah, James Harden had a big shout out, and she, you know, mentioned that, like she had tweeted the support. So, I mean, look, Graham Rossini came in, and yeah, things were. It was an uphill battle, to say the least, right? We know it, Pitchfork Luncher, Sun Devil Nation, you know it. And I mean, yeah, you can say from a money side, but even, you know, it's not just NIL, but like, you know, in partnerships, sponsorships, partnerships, everything. And you can just, you know, you feel it. And Coach Miller, she said that, and it's awesome. So we're also early next week. I did obviously get to talk to her there, Pitchfork Lunchers, but yes, we talked about it. We are going to have Coach Miller on the show as well. So early next week, but again, you're not going to want to miss it. Like I said, Monday, defensive coordinator Brian Ward will be with us on Pitchfork Lunch. Obviously, will have been, you know, 3 practices into spring ball, but yeah, it's just again, Coach Miller, and you know, she did talk about obviously her staff. I heard her talking to some, you know, it's kind of an ongoing thing right now to finish up her staff. So it's yeah, I mean, look, it's exciting. And the fact that she, again, like I said, that the energy and to see, like I said, Coach Thorne there, you guys know, you Pitchfork Lunchers know, Coach Thorne has been a great friend of the program. I mean, always invited me, media, but just in general, like open arms out to hoops back when I was a student here. And she was just getting rolling. And also, covering the JUCOs, like I said, when Peace Mukamara came over here to play with Promise, but just, seeing Coach out, talking to her, hitting media availabilities, having her on radio shows, like she, it's a lifelong hooper, played for Tara Vonderveer, as you guys know, and coached. And yeah, when Coach Miller said the defense translates, I just kind of looked up. I knew some coaching ears may have perked up. So nonetheless, though, again, that's going to do it for us. We'll hear from Montana Warren tomorrow. Didn't get to that. That's all right. We'll hear from Montana Warren tomorrow, Pitchfork Lunchers. But yes, going to get out of here. Everybody have a most phenomenal rest of your Thirsty Thursday. Hope I quenched a good amount of your Sun Devil thirst, but it truly never can be, guys, because we're Sun Devils. We want more. But I will see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel, possibly with a guest, a surprise guest. Got to work that out, but we shall see with a surprise guest. And yeah. We'll talk. Softball's got a doubleheader tomorrow. They had to change the schedule because of weather in Ames, and the softball team, of course, did not want to get stuck in Ames, Iowa, for an extra few days. No need to. So doubleheader tomorrow, single game on Saturday, no game Sunday. They will be flying back Saturday. So saw them leaving for the airport out at spring practice today. So anyway, just little nuggets there. And golf tomorrow, 8 a.m. I'll probably have some highlights from that as well. Going to get out there to the Ping Invitational, which the women are hosting. So Missy Farquet and her team, again, doing phenomenal. 2 qualifiers for the Masters. I'll get to all that tomorrow. But you guys have a phenomenal rest of your Thursday. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. And yes, thanks to reigning Big 12 champs women's volleyball. Hashtag our state. And, oh, by the way, beach volleyball did beat Arizona yesterday. So, yes, my bad. Again, a little rush today. Didn't get that in. But beach volleyball, we'll hit on that tomorrow, too, because they whooped up on Arizona. So, forks up to that. So, everybody have a phenomenal rest of your Thursday. I will see you tomorrow. Hashtag our state. And, yes, you guys know it. As always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Blaine Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's away. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get it. Wow. Edwards